From threatening to harm Dr. Now,
I know my face. Like, don't try me like that. I will trample your little ass. You won't be doing no more surgery. You're gonna need surgery.
to getting into a scuffle with him,
Me, you're making me mad. I'm
Sit
leaving.
down right there. You sit down right over there.
No,
Wait, sit down.
to angrily storming out of his office.
Done with this. I quit. I'm done.
My 600-pound life has shown us some of the most explosive moments of pride, denial, and fragile egos colliding with Dr. Now's brutal honesty. And today, we're looking at 10 patients whose egos couldn't survive Dr. Now's reality check. Starting with, when Dr. Now confronts someone about their lack of progress, most people take it as motivation, but for Tara, it felt like a personal attack. By the time she met Dr. Now, Tara was 35 years old and weighed 606 pounds. Her body hurt, her mobility was gone, and every small task was a reminder of how far she'd fallen.
Everything I do in the room, I don't do much of anything.
I try to help out at times. My weight has worn down the cartilage in my knees.
So when I walk, it's literally bone on bone. And it hurts. Got it? Yeah.
When she arrived in Houston, Dr. Now explained how bad her situation had gotten.
She needed drastic change now. I think, she's at the point, I don't know if she's gonna live another 5 years.
And at first, she did try to fight for her life.
Terry, you had enough?
Technically, no.
Drink your juice. It'll fill you up.
Does it look like I had enough? It's like clean here.
I don't have much longer to live if I keep going like this. I know I want to be there for my kids more than I want food to make me happy. I can't leave my children the way my daddy left me.
And it paid off.
She'll be ready to lose weight with that operation. All right, that looks good.
For a moment, it looked like everything was finally turning around.
This is the first time that she's gone out there and watched Darren swim.
1, 2, 3. Hold your pants on the phone.
But the truth is, change isn't a straight line. Dr. Now expected her to lose between 20 and 30 pounds a month after surgery. Instead, when Tara stepped on the scale, it became obvious she was slowly slipping back to her old ways.
Amazingly, you haven't lost any weight in 1 month.
I've lost 5 pounds.
5 pounds in 1 month?
Yeah.
Instead of accepting her mistake, she tried to downplay the results.
I used to gain 20 pounds in 1 month. That's good.
But for Dr. Now, it was a sign that she wasn't being fully honest with herself.
Tara is overeating and she's not being truthful about it.
For Tara, those words hit like a slap. She had been pushing through pain, hunger, and exhaustion, believing she was doing everything right. To be told that she was lying cut deep into her pride.
I'm ready to get the hell out of here. I'm trying, damn it. I'm even moving more.
Dr. Now gave her another appointment date and a new weight goal, and despite leaving his office in tears, Tara seemed more determined this time around. A few weeks later, Tara was back to the same cycle.
I may cheat a little bit here and there, but I'm really trying.
I was like,
It's not just about when my stomach says I'm done. It's about when my head says I'm done. So it's hard to stop.
So when it was time for her appointment with Dr. Now, it showed on the scale. She had only lost 2 pounds.
You haven't lost any weight.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm doing things I'm supposed to. I even walked a whole department store.
You're still eating too many calories
Her excuses this time were not really making sense to Dr. Now.
for your metabolism. That's why you're not losing weight.
You can preach and preach and preach. I don't eat nothing I'm not supposed to.
Well,
Things I used to eat, I don't eat anymore.
And he called her out immediately.
if Tara hasn't lost any weight next time she's here, I'm afraid that's going to be end of her weight loss. If you can, there's nothing more I can do for you.
Rather than take the corrections and stick to the approved diet this time, Tara exploded.
Yes, I understand. I'm gonna starve myself for 2 weeks to make everybody happy. I'm done with this. I quit. I'm done.
The moment was raw and explosive, but her frustration was clearly about control. Dr. Now had taken away the one thing that had always given her a sense of safety. Tara's ego couldn't take the confrontation. She stormed out of the office, furious and humiliated, her pride louder than her pain.
No. better go home now.
But as time passed, Tara knew Dr. Now was right.
At first, it really upset me what the doctor was saying. But then I realized what he was saying was true. I gotta stop lying to myself.
Good deal.
I will do whatever it takes, no matter how difficult, to keep moving forward and to make progress.
Get the frustrations out. It feels good, all right?
The same ego that made her walk out of Dr. Now's office became the fuel that drove her to come back stronger.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Before I had my surgery, I could eat like 3 or 4 of these TV dinners.
Okay.
But I don't even eat that anymore.
By the end of her journey, she had lost over 200 pounds.
These past couple of months, I've really pushed myself to the limit. I hope that's enough.
I've come so far. You know, and I still have a long way to go.
Tara's story was one of the show's most explosive outbursts, but the best part was that the woman underneath finally began to heal. Tara's pride made her storm out, but she wasn't the only one who let ego take control. Lee's reaction would soon prove just how far denial can go when Dr. Now pushes too hard. When Lee first appeared on My 600 Pound Life, he weighed a staggering 714 pounds.
Just living life is a struggle daily.
When he tried to get help at a bariatric clinic, he found love instead of the help he needed.
I was there to get help and hoping to turn my life around. But when I met Renee there, we fell in love and had to leave. So we never got the help we needed. I remember meeting Renee for the first time. Her brother was my roommate at the bariatric clinic.
Instead of getting healthier, the two lovebirds enabled each other. When they finally came to Dr. Now in Houston, they were both desperate for help. But Dr. Now had to let Lee know how dire his situation was.
There's no way your body is going to be able to sustain your weight for much longer at all. You need to fully understand how close to death you are right now.
Dr. Now gave diet instructions and finally a tough but necessary weight goal for their next appointment.
Lee, I want you to lose 150 pounds and get down to around 560. Sticking to the diet I'm giving you will get you to these goals.
Lee actually made some effort after the appointment, but when it came time to face the scale, he was still short of the required target.
I'm supposed to have lost 150 pounds to get down to 564 today. And I've worked really hard to hit that goal. All right, good job.
When it was time for their second appointment, Lee smashed the goal this time.
Because I need to have lost another 50 pounds to get below 569 today. But I'm hoping I just blew past that number and lost even more. Wow.
Dr. Now happily signed him up for weight loss surgery, giving Lee the second chance he needed.
You lost 47 pounds. That's 142 pounds so far, huh?
Yeah.
So congratulations. You both are approved for weight loss surgery.
But immediately after his surgery, he became a completely different person.
Now that Lee's had surgery, it's like he stopped trying to stick to the diet.
I know Renee hasn't been too happy when I make poor food choices. But now that I had the surgery, I thought it would take away all the cravings for the food that I shouldn't eat. But it hasn't. So I need her to let up a little and to get off my back.
The man who had once begged for help now acted like he could handle everything on his own.
Doesn't matter anymore. It ain't gonna work. I do not desire to be with you. We are never, ever going to see eye to eye, no matter what.
When it was time for their next appointment, Dr. Now was extremely displeased with Lee's choices.
You were down to 546, so you lost only 9 pounds since then. But Renee has lost almost 50 pounds at the same time, and she hasn't even had her bypass yet. What in the world is going on with you?
That single question was enough to break Lee's composure.
I don't eat a third what
But Dr. Now was not done with setting things straight.
You're choosing to overeat and you think it's okay? You play your cards right until you got the surgery. And now you're playing this kind of game and you think that's okay? What do you mean you don't know? And you think that you're not eating and you're gaining
I don't want to get malnourished either.
Do you look like you're malnourished? you overeating.
His pride couldn't handle the bluntness. Lee felt challenged, called out, and exposed, so he did what he did best.
I'm done with this conversation. Go to her.
No, we're gonna finish with you.
No, we're not finishing with me. You're making me mad.
You
I'm
sit
leaving.
down right there.
You just
You sit down right over there.
No,
Wait, sit down.
Okay,
let go of me, Renee.
all right, this is completely unacceptable.
His response and action was one of the most explosive ego clashes Dr. Now had ever faced. For Lee, walking out was about pride. He couldn't stand being told he was wrong and making poor choices. But in time, that anger faded into realization. Slowly, he began to change, and even Dr. Now was proud of that change.
I wasn't sure if Lee was going to be able to get back on track and what the effect of that will be on Renee. But they're both doing well.
Lee's story was one of the perfect examples of how patients respond when their ego gets bruised on My 600 Pound Life. Lee's pride made him storm out, but her next patient never even tried to stand. Her ego kept her from accepting help, leaving her trapped in her body. Lisa Eberson had been stuck in her bed for nearly 4 years.
I live with my boyfriend, Randy. And I just feel like crap because we're not really boyfriend-girlfriend. He's more like my caregiver.
On Dr. Now's first call with Lisa, he couldn't help but notice how everything was perfectly structured to keep her in the same place even in the face of destruction.
What do you do when you have your bowel movement?
Randy, we turn over and use like a bedpan.
I see. So you have a whole system figured out to keep you in bed all day.
Her boyfriend catered to her every need, and her routine revolved around instant gratification. Dr. Now advised her and explained the changes she had to make. But after the call, Lisa completely ignored everything he had said.
No, go get some cookies.
How many do you want?
Get like 6 or 7 cookies. Get some peanut butter cookies.
It made total sense that she had made zero progress by the next call, and instead resorted to excuses.
I'm trying to tell you I need help, but I want it.
But Dr. Now didn't entertain any of it.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Crying and trying to tantrum is not going to be a solution.
Dr. Now's response hit her pride harder than any insult could because Lisa wanted compassion, not change. She wanted to be seen as trying even when she wasn't.
She spent a lot of time learning to manipulate those around her to get what she wants. And she seems to think she can keep doing that in this situation.
It became obvious that Lisa's ego and pride was in the way of her accepting help from the people who wanted to save her. When her physical therapist tried to encourage her to move, she lashed out.
I probably won't even answer your questions, be honest with you.
Lisa, if you want to make change, I'm going to need you to engage with me.
But I don't know.
So you've not struggled with...
What is this going to do me any good with you just coming here and talk? They're wasting my time.
What would you rather be doing?
I don't know. Leave me alone, lady.
Sometimes when we get angry and frustrated...
But the reality was simple. She couldn't handle being told what to do.
Okay, this is over with. Get out. I'm done talking to you.
Lisa, is part of you afraid of getting help?
Just get away from me.
Okay.
Get the out. Do not ever come back to my house again.
In her world, authority meant judgment, and that judgment meant shame. The same cycle was repeated when a dietitian was sent to help guide her. Her pride wouldn't allow her to accept help from anybody, and her body suffered for it.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
I have some resistance bands out in my vehicle. Nothing that I can do here with you, for you. Okay. You wouldn't consider anything?
Absolutely not. Oh my God, never mind. Thank you for coming. That's the end of it. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Months later, when Dr. Now called her out on skipping physical therapy, she tried to twist the story in her favor.
The one lady that did come, she says I'm too fat and she don't know how to work with me.
That's not what happened.
But Dr. Now saw through it instantly.
You refused to work with her every time she came, and now you're lying to manipulate the situation.
That truth shattered whatever illusion she was holding on to, and her bruised ego pushed her to cut the conversation short.
You gave me. I'm done. Goodbye. Here, I'm done.
But Dr. Now has seen his fair share of patients to know exactly how patients like Lisa behave.
Lisa never really intended to make any of the changes she needed. I think she thought she can manipulate her way into weight loss surgery, and she wouldn't have to do any work to lose the weight and save her life.
The truth was that every time Dr. Now challenged her to be better, her ego came out swinging with defiance. When COVID hit her household a few months later, tragedy struck. Lisa lost someone close to her, and for once, her pride didn't have a response.
My boyfriend Randy passed away from COVID, so he's not going to be there to help me anymore.
In that silence, reality finally set in. She could either keep defending her pride or fight for her life.
How is your weight now?
It's at 554.
So you lost some weight, huh?
Yeah.
By the end of her episode, Lisa was no longer the same woman who had screamed at nurses or lied to Dr. Now. She wasn't fully healed, but she had taken the first real step at surrendering her ego. Lisa's pride kept her isolated, but at least she learned to face herself. Our next case would soon show that sometimes ego hides behind excuses, especially after being bruised by Dr. Now. 42-year-old Karen Suffren weighed a shocking 640 pounds, but despite her insane BMI, her world still revolved around food and how soon she could get her next meal.
Food is constantly on my mind. How good it's gonna taste, the flavors, the time frame in between your last meal and when you can eat again.
On her first video call with Dr. Now, she insisted she couldn't make the journey to Houston due to crippling panic attacks.
I don't even know what it is, I just know like I couldn't do it. I became agoraphobic like a couple years ago. I started going out less and less, and then it got to the point where I just stopped going out at all. Me just having like panic attacks when I would go out. Even now, it's to the point where it's too much and I can't. I got dizzy. I felt like I couldn't breathe with just thinking about leaving to travel. So that's what happened. And
to her, those fears explained everything. But Dr. Now wasn't interested in any excuses. That was the first crack in Karen's ego. For years, she'd built her reality around the idea that she couldn't control her situation.
It seems like over time she has created a bubble for herself where she can hide from the world and have others take care of her. But that's not a sustainable situation.
It made her feel safe and blameless. But Dr. Now's words stripped away that illusion. Suddenly, she wasn't a victim of circumstance. She was accountable.
We can give you the instruction and roadmap of what to do, what not to do, but this is all going to be up to you to make those changes and stick with healthy eating habits.
Dr. Now gave her a simple weight goal to prove that she was willing to do the work.
Because I want you to lose 50 pounds over the next 2 months to show me that you're serious.
But denial is comfortable, and Karen clung to it tightly.
I missed the appointment. It was too much for me. And I kind of shut down. I couldn't do it.
She began claiming progress that didn't exist.
I told Dr. Now's clinic I was okay with getting on a video call with him again. And I'm hoping he can see some of my progress. And that it's enough for him to keep working with me. I just can't go out right now. I think I'll have the courage once I lose more weight, but I feel like I already lost a big amount, even in just a month.
When she missed weigh-ins and follow-ups, she had explanations and excuses planned and ready.
What happened?
I don't know, I just couldn't do it.
Couldn't do what?
I couldn't go and make it to the appointment. I tried to go down and drive down to the clinic and just so I can have, a practice run to help with my anxiety and getting there. But, I didn't sleep well the night before and I panicked. I just shut down.
It was the same cycle of excuses for her follow-up appointments.
You don't think you can see any doctor right now?
Not right now, but I think once I lose some more weight, I might have the courage to do it soon.
And the worst part was that she became completely delusional to making progress.
So how much weight do you think you have lost?
I think I've lost maybe 100 pounds.
Eventually, the excuses ran out. Dr. Now had to send his team to her home for a weight check. When the number appeared on the scale, Karen was finally facing the reality of her situation.
So, 604. Yes. All right.
But 2 months later, when it was time for her to check her progress since the last appointment,
And I was supposed to lose at least 50 pounds. And I think I lost somewhere close to 200 pounds. And so I think I'm going to be in the 400s today.
Karen couldn't believe the result on the scale.
Okay, 583.
And rather than take accountability, she decided to put the blame on the scale.
Are you sure? Is that scale working properly? Yes, I'm pretty sure we zeroed it out. I don't want to have to call Dr. Now with that number because I know it's wrong, but I know I can't avoid it.
And when she tried to sell the same narrative to Dr. Now,
It says 583, but that's only about 20 pounds less than last time, so I know that can't be accurate, so I think the scale is off.
he completely shut her excuses down.
You may think you lost more weight, but in reality, you haven't lost as much as you think you have. What do you want me to do at this time? Because with all these issues, I don't see any way forward.
Give me one last chance, Dr. Now.
For Karen, she believed that the scale had betrayed all her effort, but the truth was simply that she hadn't done the work she thought she had.
And it showed that you only lost half of what you need to lose to show me that you're willing to do this.
Those words hit her harder than any medical diagnosis. They didn't just attack her habits, they attacked her self-perception, her pride, her comfort, her entire story about who she was and what she'd been doing. But instead of accepting and trying to work harder, Karen doubled down.
Everyone can tell how much I lost. People have told me how much.
Dr. Now was at his wit's end with Karen, but he agreed to give her one last chance to prove that she was willing to take this seriously.
If I give you 2 more months and you go to local clinic and show me that you lost 50 pounds, to show me that you're serious about that and you're going to change your life, are you willing to do that?
Yes, Dr. Now.
Deep down, he knew where it was headed.
She wakes up and sees that and works hard, then not much is going to be different in 2 months.
When the next check-in came, the numbers were still bad. Nothing had changed.
So that means I have to be below 533 today. Lock in. Okay, we got 572.
But Karen still refused to believe it.
Well, there's no point in calling Dr. Now because he's not going to believe me when I tell him that there's something wrong with the scale, so. I have mixed feelings about what's happening between me and Dr. Now because I'm grateful to him and his program for giving me the motivation to start making the changes that I need to lose weight. But I am not happy with the way he and his staff are treating me. It's because I'm working my hardest, Dr. Now, and I don't feel like what the scale is saying is accurate. And I don't feel like there's any point in talking to you about it. You're not going to believe me anyway.
That's when Dr. Now drew the line.
When you over the scale, you're right, because the scale doesn't lie, and you realize that you're lying to yourself if you don't believe the scale.
That was the moment her ego cracked completely. The denial she'd wrapped around herself for protection turned into resentment.
So at this point, there is not much more we can do for you, Karen.
You and I agree on that, Dr. Now. Thank you for the help that you've given me up to this point, but I think I got it from here.
And just like that, her journey with Dr. Now ended, not because she couldn't lose the weight, but because she couldn't lose her pride and accept that she was still making mistakes with her diet. Even afterward, she held onto the same story.
I know that I've lost over 100 pounds and I'm just going to continue to lose more.
But denial doesn't change reality, and pride doesn't burn calories. In the end, it wasn't just food that stopped Karen's progress. It was her ego, the quiet, stubborn belief that if she just refused to see the truth, it might stop being true. Karen's ego made her cling to denial, but Margaret Johnson took it even further, because while Karen hid behind excuses, Margaret decided to shut down immediately after she was confronted. Margaret Johnson's story was filled with excuses, tears, and conviction that she didn't need to change.
I don't know what it went wrong. I don't know.
You want to argue all that with the scale? Be my guest.
At just 35 years old, Margaret weighed over 750 pounds, and her body was failing.
But regardless, it's clear if Margaret doesn't do something to turn her life around, it's only going to be a matter of time before her body gives out. But at this point, I'm still not sure she has any intention to get the help she needs to do that.
When Dr. Now first met her, he could immediately spot the stubborn resistance buried under self-pity.
Anything to change your situation up to this point?
I've had abusive life. I can hide underneath it, and nobody knows what's going on in my life.
I think we're gonna have our work cut out for us with Margaret. She says she wants to change her situation, but so far she hasn't done anything to change her life.
Dr. Now was willing to let her show him she was genuinely interested in change.
I expected that you lose 100 pounds in 3 months.
In 3 months? Okay.
Yeah.
But Margaret started giving excuses for missed appointments.
Mom had to work today, and so I had no way of coming. I'm in pain, but I'm willing to deal with that to see you.
And even tried to drive the physical therapists away.
Now, he needs you to get up because of the blood clot and everything else. You already have a history of DVT.
Yeah, I know, but they keep pushing on you and they keep pushing on me. I'm sick of it.
You're not serious today. I told you I'd reschedule.
And when Dr. Now confronted her about it, she lied.
Then I'd be doing even more. It's just really that my mama's got to work.
She boasted that she was doing extremely good and sticking to the diet.
Salads, baked chicken, baked fish. I don't eat nothing. If it don't swim, fly, I don't eat it. That's all I drink is water, water, water.
Good.
But when Dr. Now finally found a way to get her to the clinic months later, her numbers didn't match her big talk.
Your weight is 626.
I didn't lose enough.
Well, we're still doing good. She's still eating the same way.
Dr. Now didn't let her mother hide her behind that excuse. His tone cut clean through the denial.
Like you don't know what is going on. There's a simple math. You're eating too much, you're not gonna lose weight. Which part of this is very hard to understand, that she's eating at least 4 times what she should be eating.
All her effort, all her justifications, reduced to one simple truth she didn't want to hear.
She's eating 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day. If she's not losing weight, she's eating too much. You know, she's eating the food that belongs next 5 years ahead of time.
Things got even more uncomfortable after Dr. Now found out her mother had been giving her protein shakes.
Who said protein shake was okay to drink?
Nobody.
So between you two, whatever is going on, we're killing her.
At this point, Margaret had heard enough, and she felt betrayed.
That's all I want. I just want out of this office and go home.
But Dr. Now was not moved by tears. He wanted results.
Try harder. You can do it, like your mom said. Okay?
Therapy was a priority for her process, but when the therapist visited the house and asked certain questions, Margaret's ego couldn't take it and she lashed out.
Don't know me!
See the resistance?
Just get out of my house. Just go. Just go. Get out of my house. I'm done.
He's not saying, Margaret, I have to abandon you.
I'm done.
It's interesting, she's getting up in response to that.
Despite her slow progress, Dr. Now finally approved her for weight loss surgery.
Because of all that, and the fact that she hasn't started gaining weight, and she's working with physical therapy off and on now, I'm willing to start the process with her to do weight loss surgery.
But when he came to check on her post-surgery, her resistance reached its peak. She had been given another chance, a literal life-saving operation, but her behavior showed the same pattern.
You have a lot to answer.
No, I don't.
Okay, we did the weight loss surgery on you, and you're responsible for your health.
Yep.
This is not in here to sit down and manipulate everything and get everything you want. You're abusing the system, and this is not the way that you're gonna scream and cry and get your way out of it. That is not the solution for your problem right now.
That was the breaking point, the moment her ego finally collapsed, not into growth, but into retreat.
You're crying because you want to manipulate people to agree.
I manipulated the system. I did it all.
Her response said everything her pride couldn't. She'd rather quit than face herself.
You're not going to be able to manipulate your way around me.
I'm done. I'm not dealing with this.
It was her last act of defiance, walking away from the one person trying to hold her accountable. The truth is that all Dr. Now did was try to help her and refuse to be a victim of her manipulation.
You may be able to manipulate other people to get what you want, but you're not going to be able to manipulate me.
And that was it. Margaret's journey didn't end in progress or transformation. It ended in pride. The same pride that convinced her she was trying, even when she wasn't. The same denial that turned facts into insults and help into attack. Margaret's ego made her walk away from help. And just like her, our next patient let that same sting to his pride cloud his entire journey. At 31 years old and weighing 677 pounds, Charles's life had completely fallen apart. Every morning was the same struggle with a body too heavy to move.
It's scary waking up because everything gets a little harder each morning. I get short of breath walking to the bathroom from my bed. On a bad day, as soon as I get up, you'll hear my knees they'll continuously pop, 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 pop.
A routine built around food and a quiet guilt that lingered in every breath.
A lot of my weight came after rehab, after I quit doing drugs. My mom was a drug addict. She did meth. So I would spend most of my time with her parents who lived on the street. And when my grandma made cookies, she didn't just make a dozen. She made 6 dozen. I can just get to them whenever I wanted to.
When he finally reached out for help, Dr. Now spoke with a kind of blunt honesty that few could handle. That first video call hit him like a punch to the gut. It wasn't meant to shame him, but to force him to confront the truth he'd been avoiding. And for a while, it worked.
Hey, Charles.
Hi, doctor.
The big question is how you got to this point.
When I had quit drugs and went to rehab, a lot of weight came back to me and it just kept getting worse.
So instead of yourself with men, yourself with the food.
Charles took the words personally, but he also took them seriously. But determination without discipline fades fast. As the weeks went by, Charles's motivation began to crumble. He skipped his weigh-in, blamed his van for breaking down, and when Dr. Now called to check in on him, his patience wore thin when he found Charles had not really made the appropriate changes to his eating habits.
But once I build my stamina up, I'll be able to do more. Bradley and I have been doing a diet together, which has been making it easier for me to stick to. It's been mostly stuff like salads or sandwiches, but after I eat it, I'm still hungry.
From Charles's response, it became obvious he had not really studied the diet papers, and Dr. Now was not happy about it. Each word landed like a slap, and the room felt heavier with every pause as Charles's pride took a hit.
What changes you have made with your eating habits?
I've substituted breakfast and lunches with my protein shakes. I'm eating smaller dinners, and I'm drinking mostly water.
Okay, who gives you that idea that protein shake was a good idea?
I don't know. I thought it was a good idea because it wasn't a solid food.
Protein shake are empty calorie, unusable protein for your body, and is not a part of your diet. Your diet consists of eating normal food in appropriate amount and maintaining healthy weight. So it looked like those diet papers we gave you, you didn't really read them carefully, did you?
I guess not carefully enough.
What is the goal for calling us and see what we can do for you?
Because I just need help losing weight.
And we gave you some instruction and change your eating habit. You obviously, either you didn't understand it or you didn't read it. And I don't see any goal in your life. What happened when you lose weight?
I'll have a better life.
Better life. You got a caregiver and you got a Social Security, you eat the food, you have no job, no responsibility. What better life are you talking about? Charles, you expect me to believe you're going to change all that? I don't see that happening.
and you were supposed to come and see us. So none of that happened. So you're not gonna do anything else.
I think this interview's over. I'm about to blow up.
And we give you 3 months to change your eating habits and have productive weight loss. You didn't do that, you didn't do a diet, you didn't come and see us. So what is the purpose of that? Child? And answer the question.
He had convinced himself he was doing better than before, that he could impress Dr. Now with a little effort. But hearing Dr. Now's comment hurt his ego, and he had no other option but to take offense because his ego was bruised. Instead of confronting the truth in Dr. Now's comments, Charles decided to prove Dr. Now wrong. In his mind, it was a bold gesture and proof of commitment, but Dr. Now saw his effort as reckless. Charles expected praise, maybe even pride in his initiative. Instead, Dr. Now was not impressed.
Hi, Dr. Now. How are you doing? I came out to Houston to surprise you.
Charles, you missed the appointment. You're supposed to go to a local clinic and get your weight checked, and you didn't do that. And then when I follow up with you to see how you're doing, you hang up on me. So what exactly makes you think anything about what you're doing is a good idea? I would have told you not to come because it's not safe for you to travel that long. So we'll figure out a time this afternoon to try to see you.
The silence that followed said everything as Charles's confidence deflated. But that's what pride does. It turns accountability into an insult and truth into attack. Charles's ego was the kind that hides behind self-pity. He wanted approval more than change, validation more than progress. And when Dr. Now stripped that away, what was left was the truth he kept running from.
I can say I'm surprised at Charles' outcome and decision. He seems to think he can make up his own rules of how things should go. But that's not happening here, so I wish him the best. Hopefully he will wake up before he gets to a breaking point. But with what I have seen, I'm still not too optimistic about that.
Charles's pride made him defensive, but he wasn't the only one who mistook denial for progress. Shanae Marie, on the other hand, built an entire identity around denial and got angry when Dr. Now told her the truth.
And you tried to say, no, that is not fluid, but it is. I know my body. I've been in this body for 28 years.
At just 27 years old, Shanae weighed over 700 pounds, with one of the highest BMI in the history of the show. From the start, it was clear that Shanae's world revolved around her. Her husband, Freddie, did everything for her.
My weight is ruining my life. And I feel like I'm drowning in my fat. And I'm very miserable. I live with my husband, Freddie, and my mom. And I feel like a burden to him. I feel like a burden to my family. I feel like a burden to everyone that's in my life.
I don't mind helping my wife at all. Like, I do it with love. But what breaks my heart about her is just the struggles I have to see.
When Dr. Now first met her in Houston, he saw a young woman held hostage by her own denial. His comment alone should have been the wake-up call she needed, but Shanae's pride wouldn't let her actually listen and take advice.
You're 28 years old.
Yes.
And you weigh right now 665 pounds. And you're only 5'1", and your BMI is 123. And you know what normal BMI is?
No.
18 to 25.
Do you hear that, Shanae? Let me say this in front of the doctor. If you're not listening to nothing that he's saying, because you get mad not only at Freddie, you get mad at me. Shanae, when I tell you, you don't need that, what do you do? What do you do? Shanae, most of the time.
Okay.
So we either gonna do it now or never. That means if you want it, you gotta do it.
I already started half.
Okay, well, let's do it then.
When she returned a month later, she was ready with a long list of excuses. Dr. Now tried to make her see reason, but instead of taking accountability, she doubled down on her excuses.
And instead, you're at 693, and that is a 28-pound weight gain.
Yeah.
So you want to explain to me how this happened?
I have a lot of fluid in my legs.
Can you try something
swelling.
else? Because I heard that one 1,000 times. Fluid is not adding to your weight gain. So the reality is, to gain like you did, you still have to be eating over 10,000 calories a day.
Not necessarily all the time.
So what happened 2.5 months ago?
Just stress.
What kind of stress you have?
Marital stress.
What do you mean by that?
Me and him argues. It's a lot of things that go on.
Stress is unfortunately part of life, and it always will be there to varying degrees. And if you let that be your excuse, then you're always going to be gaining.
Yeah.
Shanae is still not only failing to take her situation seriously, but she doesn't want to acknowledge any issues with her behavior and her own choices that are leading to her situation.
With Shanae, it was an endless cycle of excuses and refusal to do the work. Every time Dr. Now offered direction, she offered deflection. Things became extremely heated when Dr. Now found out she was going as far as even cheating the diet while in the hospital.
On top of that, the staff has seen her eating burgers and pizza that Freddie has been sneaking in. So I have a good bed to address with them.
Hey, Doctor.
Hey, Shanae. See what I found.
Freddie.
What about Freddie?
That belongs to Freddie.
Shanae, the lying need to stop now. Okay, Shanae? Here's the situation.
Okay.
For 4 months, I have seen you from day one. You haven't lost any weight. Plus, the hospital staff not only seen you eating pizza, but burgers, and then you're smart enough not to throw it to your own trash, throw it to somebody else's trash.
It was me that ate it. She didn't eat any of that.
You both need to stop lying. You came here to have weight loss surgery. You haven't lost any weight in 4 months. Why?
Shanae instead swore she was barely eating, but Dr. Now tore through the performance in seconds. Her ego couldn't take it, so she kept arguing and refused to listen. But when it came down to it, her ego couldn't handle being caught in the lie, and that was the problem.
I'm telling you, Doctor, I got water
You
weight.
should have lost 130 pounds by now. And you're eating this junk and you keep lying to me.
She didn't eat
I'm not eating any of that.
Then how come you're not losing weight?
I haven't ate anything.
You keep repeating the same lie.
She didn't do it, telling you the truth. Like, I wouldn't lie about that.
It started
she really
pissing me off.
She really has been working for it.
We are pissing you off. We're working
Shanae,
everything.
calm
We're
down.
giving you every tool to lose weight, and you're telling us all this lie. You know you're not doing what you need. You miss all your psychotherapy appointments, and then you come here pretending there is a serious issue to avoid facing the fact that you gain because you know you are overeating.
After several months, the same story still played out. She missed appointments, skipped therapy, and worst of all, she was trying to hide behind her excuses and religion. But Dr. Now wasn't having it.
For you eating as much as you do.
I don't eat that much, but I still have water gain. And you tried to say, no, that is not fluid, but it is. I know my body. I've been in this body for 28 years.
Shanae, you've been in that body for 28 years, but I've been practicing medicine for twice that amount of time, and I know what I'm talking about. Your weight is not a result of water, it is a result of fat, okay? So how many times do we have to go over this?
And I understand that, but certain things you say is not true. Oh, I'm not trying to teach you medicine, but I'm trying to teach you about my body. Okay, can I ask you a question? Do you believe in God?
What does that have to do with this discussion? What I'm telling you is not a matter of faith. It's a matter of medicine and science and physiology.
And I understand that, but do you believe in God?
This is medicine.
Well, I believe in God, and I believe that God is gonna take me as far as He wants me to. He put me on this earth. If He wants me to have this surgery, He will. And if He doesn't, I won't. It's in His timing when this is gonna happen.
He set things straight because for Shanae, her faith had become another wall protecting her ego, a way to feel blameless while doing nothing. By the 5th month, it was all over. When she finally returned to the clinic, the scale revealed what Dr. Now had already suspected. And then, she stopped showing up entirely.
All right, Shanae, let's talk about where you're at.
Okay, first off, I want to apologize to you.
Why you want to apologize to me?
Because I feel like that phone call that we had together, it was an aggravated phone call. Not only for my end, for your end also. And I'm apologizing because I feel like that I offended you.
At this point, I'm not sure how much more we can do for Shanae. And she refuses to stop giving the same excuses and the same illogical reasoning as to why she thinks it's okay not to do what she needs and why she's not taking her situation seriously. But hopefully this next one, she will start to do what she needs.
Shanae's story became legendary because of her denial. Her ego created a world where she was always right, always the victim, always misunderstood. And for Shanae Murray, that was the tragedy. Her body wasn't her biggest burden. Her pride was. Shanae's pride made her deflect every truth Dr. Now tried to offer. But Lisa Fleming's story would show what happens when ego becomes a shield that blocks out even the people trying to save you. Lisa Fleming's story became one of the most uncomfortable and unforgettable journeys in my 600-pound life. When Lisa first met Dr. Now, she didn't just carry over 700 pounds on her frame. She carried an ego built on years of excuses, self-pity, and denial. She wanted to change, but only on her own terms. From the moment their first consultation began, Dr. Now laid out the truth with his usual precision.
So, okay, you are at 704. That's very high.
I don't believe it's gained in weight.
You clearly didn't stick to the diet.
No.
You have not lost weight and you're significantly overweight.
Okay, all I want to do is get cleaned up. I'm not even gonna fight you.
This is not up for debate. Even if all your tests come back okay today, you're gonna have to lose this weight because you're in a very dangerous situation right now. She's already denying that she didn't stick to the diet, but she clearly didn't. Even her family seems to be frustrated, so there is a lot I'm seeing that is very concerning right now.
And at first, Lisa made small progress. The diet worked and the hospital care helped. The weight started to come off. But as soon as her support system shifted, her progress disappeared. And when the numbers on the scale stopped moving, Lisa's lies rose to the surface.
So you're playing games and lying to me, saying you're not hungry, when you're clearly still overeating.
He keeps me on my regular diet.
Stop with the games, Lisa. You and I both know that's not true.
Lisa's addiction and aversion to taking instructions prevented her from taking help from people who genuinely wanted to help her. And her behavior and ego landed her in the hospital a few weeks later after being discharged. And this time, when Dr. Now tried to push through and let her know how dangerous the path she on was, Lisa's ego couldn't take the confrontation and she fired back. That's when Dr. Now's patience snapped.
But you look like you haven't lost any weight. In fact, you look like you're back to over 700 pounds again. And your body is likely worse than ever.
I need help. I've been trying to say that for the longest. I need help. I get nothing. I get no help.
What do you mean no help? We have given you everything, Lisa. You're down here, we gave you all the help and the tool you need to lose weight. And you wasted half a year. This is unacceptable. You're not able to get up, you're not walking, and you're eating the same thing. You're not losing any weight. We give you time to change your eating habit, and what miracle are you expecting to happen?
Lisa's expression hardened. Her pride had just taken a direct hit. Dr. Now's response shattered her victim narrative. For years, Lisa had built her identity around being misunderstood, the woman who couldn't lose weight because of everything outside her control, and she couldn't take it anymore. Lisa's outburst was a desperate attempt to reclaim control, to make him feel sorry enough to back down. But Dr. Now didn't. He'd seen it all before: the manipulation, the denial, and the deflection.
Because the help is with you, and we give you all the tools you need to lose weight.
And it's still not helping me. I can't control myself. I don't know what to do anymore.
Stop talking like
And
that.
I feel like nobody else
I love you. Now stop acting like
I'm tired. I'm tired.
Hey, we gonna do this.
I feel like I failed myself. I failed my kids.
I understand you need to go back home and eat whatever you want.
I can't help myself. I don't know what to do.
All right, do you get up and go to the refrigerator and get the food?
No, I don't.
At the end, Lisa finally left the program because she refused to surrender her pride long enough to be helped.
So we have your full psychiatric evaluation, and they determined that you're not suicidal. But you already know that, right? That was designed to attempt to manipulate us. But it didn't work. So it's clear to us you have no desire to change. And you have no respect for the program or the care and tools you have been given. So as of right now, you're no longer on the program. So I'm going to discharge you to go home.
She had every chance to change her life, every opportunity to prove that she wanted it, but her ego couldn't bear the humiliation of being told the truth. The she was her own obstacle. Lisa Fleming's story is more about how pride can disguise itself as pain. She wanted healing, but she wanted control more. She wanted change, but only if it didn't mean admitting she was wrong. Because in the end, you can't help someone who refuses to see that they're the problem to themselves. Lisa's pride made her push Dr. Now away, but Angie Jade took defiance to a whole new level. Because while Lisa failed to protect her ego, Angie fought to defend it, no matter how much truth it cost her. Angie J was one of the most unforgettable and defiant stories to ever come through Dr. Now's doors. From her very first consultation, she already had the perfect excuse for why she was over 600 pounds. But Dr. Now destroyed that narrative.
I feel like if I can't move, I can't lose weight.
No, that's completely inaccurate. The reason you're overweight is you eat too much. So what is going on with your eating habit? Because in order for you to maintain your weight at 643 pounds, you're eating at least 6,000 to 7,000 calories a day. And if you're gaining, it's even more than that.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to do my program, you're going to have to be here in Houston. So you can move down to Houston anytime you want to.
Okay.
But until you show me you're willing to take this first step and put forth some effort, there's no guarantee you're going to be part of the program. So that's the risk you take.
That was the first blow to Angie's ego, and she immediately tried to defend herself by saying she didn't eat much. For years, she had built a narrative that had made her the victim, a story where food wasn't her fault, and nobody understood her struggle. But Dr. Now wasn't buying it. Dr. Now's comment bruised Angie's ego, and she tried instead to push the narrative on her daughter. But Dr. Now quickly turned the focus back on her and gave her a strict diet and instructions.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an emotional eater, because I don't think that I am. I eat at bad times. I don't eat during the morning and afternoon because I drink coffee, which suppresses my appetite. I eat at night, and then I go to bed. I eat a lot at night because I'm hungry from not eating all day, and then I overeat.
The only accurate thing you said was that you eat a lot. But what you're leaving out is that it's all day long. So don't try to convince me you're just eating once a day, because I'm not buying it. So I'm going to give you a 1,200 calorie a day, high protein, low carb diet that you need to start today.
Okay.
And you're going to stick with that. And if you do that, you're going to be able to lose 50 pounds in 1 month, okay?
Okay.
And if you hit that goal by then, I'll approve you for weight loss surgery.
So if I eat healthy, the 1,200, stick to everything you give me, I'll lose weight even if I can't really get up and exercise around and dance around.
But months after her last appointment, Lisa made no progress, and she was stuck on giving excuses for her missed appointment and lack of progress.
Hi, Dr. Now.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So what's going on with you?
I think that I'm doing okay, except I'm still drinking pop here and there.
Well, that's unacceptable. If you want to change your life, you're going to have to stick with the diet. Don't be wishy-washy about it. If you're wishy-washy about it, stay where you are. Don't come to Houston.
Okay.
Because playing games with me isn't going to work. But if you're serious about it, change your life and stick with it, okay?
I want to, but it's just been hard because me and my husband separated after we left your office. He doesn't want to move to Texas, so he put me in a little bit of a financial issue, but I'm trying.
When it was time for her weigh-in, she was still nowhere near her goal, and Dr. Now couldn't help but voice his frustration. He also immediately noticed something off with Angie, which she immediately denied. Despite Dr. Now being right, that moment hit her like a slap.
Alright, Angie, look like you're a little bit under the influence of a drug. Are you taking the medicine? Because you don't sound very normal.
I don't sound what?
You don't sound normal. Are you taking any new medication or anything else I should know about?
Am I taking medicine?
Yeah, are you taking any drugs or anything?
No.
Okay.
If you're expecting me to come there and sit around and wait for surgery for another month, I'm not coming. I don't have time for that.
Heaven forbid we waste any of your time while you waste ours with your lies and games. Angie, you decide if you want to do this or not. But if you do, then I will give you 2 more months to lose 100 pounds. And this time I suggest you write it down so you remember that. Otherwise, just stay up there and do whatever you want. And you don't need to come back down here.
It wasn't that she couldn't handle being told the truth. She couldn't handle not being in control of the truth. So she fired back. And despite his response, Angie kept pushing it, just because her ego couldn't accept that she didn't reach the actual weight goal. But Dr. Now maintained his stance and wished her the best. After the call, it was obvious that Dr. Now's comment had hurt her ego, and she had no other option but to rant and complain.
So you can give me every excuse and justification you want. It's not going to change that. But maybe you think you can argue your way out of debt. Because you seem to think that's a solution to everything.
I'm not arguing. I'm just frustrated and I'm angry, as you can see.
You can tell yourself that, but this is behavior problem.
Yeah.
It's not anger.
Yeah, I have a behavior problem.
Try to convince yourself it is an emotional issue that is justified. You like to act like the whole world is unfair and you don't deserve your situation. So you want to give me attitude and act like this is unfair. Go right ahead. But the only person you're gonna hurt is yourself. And that's what you're doing right now.
By Angie's 8th month, there was still no progress to show she was even trying. Her pride couldn't allow her to take feedback and corrections, and instead she became more combative. But Dr. Now didn't flinch. Those words pierced straight through her pride. She had built her whole identity around being misunderstood, but Dr. Now refused to let that shield her anymore. He was dismantling her ego piece by piece, and she hated every second of it.
Y'all doing?
I don't know. I'm a mess. Things have just been hard, and I want to know why I'm here, so I'll just wait to hear what you have to say.
Okay, well, I think you know why you're here. First, you haven't shown much effort up to this point. Even now, you're not on track, because in the 2 weeks since I saw you, if you were doing the diet, you would have lost at least 25 pounds. Instead, you gained 5 pounds in that time. So you're still not making progress.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Don't give me your tears, because in almost 9 months, we've given you every chance to do this, but you're just giving me attitude.
I'm not making any excuses. I have nothing, but I do have something to come clean about.
Dr. Now decided to give her one last chance, but Angie's ego was already hurting. Dr. Now was very disappointed with Angie's character, but to Angie, she was doing everything right and was being treated unfairly. It was later discovered that Angie was smoking heavily and on narcotics. Dr. Now gave her the option of going to rehab, but Angie couldn't face it. Her ego was bruised and exposed, so she refused to help. But despite everything, she still blamed Dr. Now for her failures. And just like that, Angie J's journey ended. It's safe to say that her ego became her downfall, because for someone like Angie, whose ego depends on control, Dr. Now's sincerity and brutal honesty was unbearable. While Angie argued and threw tantrums when Dr. Now's comments bruised her ego, our next case took things to a whole new level with even threats of hurting Dr. Now.
Not finna disrespect me. I've been nothing but nice to your ass. Let's go. Don't try me like that. I will trample your little ass.
At just 24, Ashley's body carried over 600 pounds. By the time she called Dr. Now for help, Ashley was already getting used to getting sympathy, but Dr. Now wasn't there to coddle her. He saw right through it and gave her a clear target to hit before surgery.
So the help that you need from us is guidance. So we're going to give it to you, starting with a 1,200 calorie a day diet, which is high protein, low carb diet that will break down what to do, what not to do with your eating habits, to understand what the proper nutrition is. Okay? Do you think you can do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next thing is I want to start doing some exercise. You think you can do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if you start doing your exercise and changing eating habit according to what we give you, you should be able to start losing about 20 pounds a month.
But after that visit, Ashley left the office frustrated and embarrassed. While she felt Dr. Now had been unfair to her, the truth was that he gave her everything she needed to live and help herself, but her pride wasn't ready to hear it.
I don't know how to feel at this point. I feel like the doctor didn't take me serious. I feel like he didn't think I wanted it when I did want it, and that's hurtful, and that's not fair. But no matter how negative he was, I was very respectful to him to show him how serious I am about doing this.
Months later, when it was time for her appointment, Ashley had not made any real progress, and Dr. Now called it exactly as he saw it. But Ashley had excuses for every problem. As Dr. Now pressed for answers, she got defensive and snapped back to dodge accountability. The tension only escalated when he asked her to complete routine tests. Her reason threw Dr. Now off guard, and he had to correct her.
So it's very important, as young as you are, that we get you to understand what the healthy eating habit is and what you can do to be able to maintain healthy weight when you're 50s and 60s. But that's not going to be possible if you don't start doing what you need now. So only 2 or 3 times a day, no soda, no sugary thing, no carb. And then I want you to lose 40 pounds over the next 2 months, okay? Unfortunately, Ashley doesn't seem to be taking her situation as seriously as she says. I gave her a very modest goal that should have been more than easy for her to accomplish. But despite some progress, she's still far off from making the changes she needs.
I'm disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, because I was hoping for weight loss surgery. And being told I need to go to therapy, that's frustrated me some. So it's hard to hear that I'm still not getting surgery, because I know I deserve the surgery. But I do feel like I stayed respectful, even when Dr. Now was negative about things.
But Ashley was not ready to listen. Dr. Now focused back on her lack of progress. But this last comment must have bruised her ego because she completely lost control. In the heat of the moment, she even threatened to hurt Dr. Now.
Y'all ready to go? Because I'm not doing this. I'm not. He's not finna talk to me like I'm crazy. I've been on the road all day to come to this appointment, and you not finna disrespect me. I've been nothing but nice to your ass. You not finna do me like that. You know, y'all ready to go? Because I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's move.
It was one of the most volatile scenes ever witnessed in the program. After some time, she calmed down and returned to the office, but Dr. Now maintained his stance. Even after that explosive moment, Ashley kept arguing and deflecting, still unwilling to take full responsibility.
If you don't trust us to do anything, then you shouldn't have surgery with us, okay? Because that's not very comfortable for you. You understand that, right?
Yes. I trust you, but I know my veins. And I understand what you're saying. I did get upset with you, and I semi-apologize, but you was trying me. And, I didn't mean to storm out on you like that. It's been a long day. Like, I'm committed to this. If I wasn't committed, I would be home right now. But I'm tired. But I still came to this appointment because I am dedicated to this. If I wasn't dedicated, I wouldn't have my friends out here. They got kids. If we keeping it all the way real. I am dedicated to this. I do trust y'all. It's just, I'd rather have somebody who I know has taken my blood several times do that for me. And if y'all can't respect that, then I'm sorry.
But Dr. Now always stood firm, reminding her that results came from action, not attitude. For Ashley's story, her ego was her biggest enemy. Every time Dr. Now held up a mirror to her choices, she didn't see a doctor trying to save her life. She saw an attack on her pride. And in that clash between truth and ego, Ashley didn't just lose her temper, she lost her chance. Because in the end, her ego played as much a role as food in destroying her progress.